from an Australian master stylist with 18 years of experience. At Hair Ascendant, we make you feel brand new. Today, we're dyeing Tracy's hair. Tracy is one of our regular clients, and she hasn't dyed her hair in about a year. Now, we mix the types of bleaching powder. One type is applied to the roots of her hair, and the other type is applied to the ends. Now, we're going to use foil for balayage. For balayage, you can see that we need to use 30 volume developer mixed with lightening powder for the roots. For the ends, we'll use 20 volume developer with some Olaplex added to keep them as hydrated as possible. To start, we'll begin with the balayage. We use a comb and a board for this, which is the quickest method used independently abroad. First, we'll section the hair using a wide tooth comb, since we're going 4 thicker slices for this balayage design. Taking a section of hair, we use the comb to separate it from the roots. When we balayage half of the hair strand, it means we're actually balayaging only 25% of the entire hair. When brushing, you can see the roots are new growth, so we can apply the product a bit heavier there to achieve a lighter color. For the ends, since they've been previously colored and lightened, we'll use a weaker product to bleach. Typically, we start with either the left or right side, or we'll divide and then proceed with coloring and lightening in that order. On the right side, we'll use the same method, layering sections with some highlights and some no highlights. Today, we're switching to a larger board because his hair is quite long. This board is custom made for us. For the roots that haven't been lightened before, we'll start with 30 volume developer, then apply only about 10% down below. After mixing with Olaplex, the developer concentration is reduced to about 10 volumes. We wrap the foil tightly because we'll be touching up the roots and redoing the color on the ends. Here's how we do it. Using a comb, we section off the areas to be lightened and prepare the foil. First, we apply to the roots in mid-sections. Since this hair hasn't been dyed before, we'll focus on the roots and mid-sections first, then move to the ends. The ends, which were previously bleached, typically after bleaching the hair. Foreign hairdressers usually apply a toner to slightly deepen the original yellow or tone the yellow parts to the same hue. For highlights, we usually do 4 sections on the right side, 4 sections on the left side, and about 6 sections on the back. Now we begin by applying dye to the roots, ensuring it covers even the scalp. We're using an ash brown shade to cover grey hair. We use a board to facilitate the process, making it easier to avoid color contamination on the ends. Since the ends are slightly yellow, we'll apply a bit of grey toner to them shortly. Currently, we're dyeing the roots and mid-lengths, protecting the hair with aluminum foil while ensuring the dye covers the roots and scalp thoroughly. This meticulous process ensures customer satisfaction, as I learned from previous experiences in China. Customers there expect flawless coverage. Even a single white hair at the roots could lead to a request for a redo. This attention to detail was something I only fully appreciated after coming to Australia. Now we begin by applying dye to the roots, ensuring it covers even the scalp. We're using an ash brown shade to cover grey hair. We use a board to facilitate the process, making it easier to avoid color contamination on the ends. Since the ends are slightly yellow, we'll apply a bit of grey toner to them shortly. Abroad, without assistance, I do everything myself, so this method is quick and ensures even application. That's why dyeing hair abroad tends to be more expensive, more dye is needed. Also, products here are expensive, unlike in China, where you can choose any brand. In Australia, it's mostly upscale brands like L'Oreal or Wella. We keep going like this until the roots are completely dyed. Now, we're applying dye to the ends. The ends have become very yellow after many washes. so we'll tone them to a greyish colour using a 01 grey brown. We quickly apply the dye to the ends. Dyeing this hair requires about 4 large bowls of dye to ensure good coverage, as insufficient dye will result in poor results. Here, speed is crucial when dyeing hair. We work very quickly, often using our hands to rub the dye in directly. Every strand at the ends needs to be coated with dye. If there's not enough dye, some strands won't get covered properly. In this job, we need to make sure the client can't find any issues, which is why we have many repeat customers. Some clients go to other salons for highlights, but are not satisfied because Australian hairstylists often can't achieve the desired result. However, we Chinese hairstylists usually deliver what the client wants. I can typically create any color the client asks for, and we'll find a way to achieve it, unless it's a special case. Australian hairstylists might give you an easier color and charge less, possibly thinking the client doesn't want to spend much. So, clients sometimes go elsewhere but end up coming back to us when they aren't satisfied with the results. We've now finished dyeing the ends. Now we're about to finish blow drying. You can see this is a colour that many Australians like. Australians find a single colour too boring, so they often have multiple colours in their hair. Also, Australians don't usually dye their entire head frequently, as frequent dyeing can lead to an even colour. Australians actually prefer an even colour, so when we do highlights like this, they find the results very beautiful. For this look, we need to highlight the roots and cover any white hair, while toning the ends. This is a typical full head foil with colour in between that Australians usually go for. The final result is a very beautiful colour. Want to look more beautiful? Subscribe to us now. Subscribe to Hair Ascendant to learn more beauty tips and transformations.